Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, podcast from Yotsuben and Friends, where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today are Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yeah.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives, as we play through this series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series near and dear to us. Today, we've all played the first half of the fourth case of Great Ace Attorney Adventures, The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Up front here, how are all my fresh little detectives doing here, wandering around London for the first time, finally free, like you've been unleashed upon the cobblestone streets and actually get to go investigate for real now?
There's Muppets all over the place.
I think London could be cooler. I don't know.
Oh. It seems kind of chilly, honestly, right now.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't met any, NPCs that stole my heart yet.
Sure. Okay.
You know?
That's fair.
That's my thing.
Okay. All right. Well, should I get us right into the summary then, or is there any other thoughts you had up front?
Natsume's cute.
Natsume is cute. I do like our client in this case. But we can get into the nitty-gritty stuff once we begin the recap.
Okay.
That's my initial thought.
Mm-hmm.
Final thoughts later. You come.
After the shocking news of Magnus McGilded dying in the omnibus fire, Ryunosuke is... Yep. Yep, called it. Yep.
Okay, yep.
Ryunosuke is unmoored and unsure of what to do next. Strongheart assigns him a new case immediately: defend another Japanese study tour student, Soseki Natsume. If that name sounds familiar, hold that thought. We'll get into that after the summary. Soseki has been accused of stabbing a woman named Olive Green in the street. The poor, nervous, bookish man denies it, and Ryunosuke has a bit of doubt over how he can defend anyone after what happened last case. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. It happens to all attorneys in this series. Sasato and him investigate the case, talking to the detective in charge, Tobias Gregson. The cantankerous fellow doesn't really share much with the two or allow them to investigate, so instead they stop by Sholmes' place. He's not home, but they do bump into
Sholmes
Iris.
and Holmes.
Yep, but they do bump into Iris Wilson, a young girl who lives with him, who reveals that she writes all the Ranced magazine stories under the name John Wilson, and also builds all of his wacky gadgets. She also does her own logic and reasoning spectacular, and unlike Sholmes, she gets everything right the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Iris gives them a card to show Gregson, which gets them in his good graces. He mentions that a policeman and his wife were witnesses to the crime, and that Van Zeeks is the prosecutor again, making the case open and shut. As they investigate, they find Sholmes in Soseki's apartment, and he explains some context about London, then declares that the landlord of the building is hiding something that may or may not be related to the case. With a lack of leads, Sasato and Ryunosuke head upstairs to interrogate him. Sholmes appears by surprise once again, and our dance of deduction begins. Together, Sholmes and Ryu piece together that the landlord's wife is posing as his maid to make their household appear middle class, that they had a horrible argument right when the murder was taking place, and that this fight started a small fire. However, Ryu is unable to pin any of this as relevant to Soseki's case. Outside, they bump into two wacky characters. Who knows what their deal is? Lastly, they return to the detention center and speak to Soseki. There, after much deliberation and speeches about believing in oneself, Ryunosuke agrees to defend Soseki, despite the lack of evidence in his favor. Onward to court. So yes.
Okay, yep. Here's my thought process.
Okay.
I think it is very interesting for Ryunosuke to have a crisis of faith after the previous case, considering that Magnus McGilded probably did it, but he'll never be sure. He's having trouble believing in his client. And that's the, whole thing about Ace Attorney is that Phoenix Wright and Apollo and Athena has believed in their clients before, but now it's like, damn, how do I do that once the first client that I protect is an asshole?
And they learned it from Mia. Never forget.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that Naruhodo doesn't have like a cool busty mentor to help him. That's the issue.
I don't know if that's a problem, actually.
It's a problem I find myself in every day.
Sure.
I gotta focus up.
Gotta lock in.
Strongheart definitely seems evil, and I'm not sure how yet. But every time I'm in a room with him, I'm like, dude, you're like 20 seconds away from telling me how you're going to kill Kamen Rider. Like, it's...
Yeah, I actually agree. I think
like
he is plotting to kill Kamen Rider.
He's like 20 seconds away from being like, and once I steal the driver, London will be the most beautiful city in the world. He already believes that, actually. He already thinks that London is the most beautiful city in the world. He loves London. That guy, just be a tour guide. My God.
Right.
I don't know, Rose, how do you think we're gonna kill Strongheart in the final case?
He might be a murderer, yeah.
I think if he does
He
kill
could be.
somebody, I think it would. All right, this is a college. There's no way this is gonna happen, but I would love it if, like, at the final case, he is the murderer, and the exact thing that we catch him on is timing, because he's so time orientated. And
That
plus,
would
like,
be a nice cycle. That would
It
be
would be-
good.
it'd be a bookend. You know, we begin every Ace Attorney game talking about the timing of shit, and now at the very end, we talk about the timing for this guy's life. Anyway.
Yeah. I
Greg-
think that could be interesting.
That
We're
that
not there
could
yet.
be interesting.
It could be interesting. Who knows?
I would write that down in the Rose and
court record.
Tiago prophecy book.
Yeah, for everyone who's taking notes out there, I know you exist. How
God,
we
if
got
anyone-
Gregson.
I was about
Gregson's
to say,
here,
so here
Sherlock
we go.
Holmes fans.
Tobias Gregson, no tweaks to his name, no funny puns. It's
That's
just
just
Tobias
his name.
Gregson's. It's just straight out of the Sherlock Holmes stories.
For those non-Sherlock Holmes readers, Inspector Gregson is like the other main like detective that very rarely pops up in Sherlock Holmes novels. He's kind of like Lestrade's rival for like who's the best detective in Scotland Yard. And the answer is, of course, neither of them. Sherlock Holmes is the best ever, and he could solve all of the problems. And he thinks they're both idiots. But, yeah, he's also a minor Sherlock Holmes character who periodically appears to ask Sherlock Holmes for help with cases.
So, I don't know much about Sherlock Holmes. Not an avid reader.
I know.
But-
things.
You know things. I thought the detective was Lestrade. Who's Lestrade?
Lestrade is one of the other detectives.
Yeah, there's actually
Oh.
multiple detectives.
Oh, there's more than one guy.
There's
of course.
there's like 3 or 4 of them.
The third guy, of
There's
course.
also what's his name? There's that one guy who's always like running in and arresting everybody, and then Sherlock Holmes is like, "Oh, he's just energetic. I'll sort it out later."
Cool guy.
But yes, we've met Gina Lestrade, obviously last case, who we don't know exactly how she factors into this yet,
Yeah.
but she
Could
has that name.
hypothetically still be a no, I can't figure it out.
I
I
think
don't know what's going on.
I mean, we don't know Jack because we do meet some other characters in this case, and some of the other characters in this case I find to be deplorable.
How's the Sholmes hate? How's that going for you right now? Because we
If-
get Sholmes doing 2
Sholmesy thing.
wacky bits. One where he's in Saseki's apartment and he's just reading a book and ignoring us for a bit. And then he helps us out in the landlord's apartment as well.
I find him annoying. I find him in the way. I think every time he utters a word, I think to myself, oh, the many ways that I could kill him.
Damn.
Even when he's helpfully explaining how the window tax worked in London.
Yeah. He did seem to get like a little bit smarter as soon as we landed. But not that much smarter.
I have a question. Is the window tax real?
Yeah.
Okay. That seems really dumb, but whatever.
That's a real thing. Yeah.
That
England
really
did a lot
happened?
of dumb stuff.
So you're
Same
telling
thing with
me
like the maid as like being representative of middle class, right? Kind of thing going on here. That's all real too.
That's real. That's
so funny because that's like such a sign of like extreme upper class.
The maid thing being real made more sense to me than the window thing. I thought they just wanted to board up the fucking window, and I was like, okay, that's probably going to be relevant to the case or later or some shit.
Nope, they just didn't want to pay any money for having a window.
No, it's just to contribute to the portrait of London. That's right. The dog is woofing.
The portrait of London, I see.
Kind of just to show, like, also just kind of the squalor that Soseki is living in.
If somebody did that now, they should have then, but we would kill them.
Fair, valid.
So speaking of things that are real, did anybody else happen to catch on to the other real thing that is in this case? Or perhaps I should say real person that is in this case.
Wait, is Natsume real?
Yeah.
Soseki Natsume is a real person, was a real person.
I think I remember this being discussed in my presence and not knowing what the fuck everyone was talking about.
Yeah, Soseki Natsume real?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a real person.
What?
He is a real Japanese author who lived from 1867 to 1916 and wrote several famous Japanese novels titled, like his most famous ones are Kokoro, Botchan, and the one that like a lot of kids in Japanese schools get assigned all the time to read is I Am a Cat, which is a novel which is about a story told from the perspective of a cat living in a house and how it refers to, you know, all the people in the house and like it's perspective, you know, on some of these assholes basically that it lives with.
Wait, does that mean we can like pinpoint the exact year that this takes place? Using Soseki's age?
You could kind of, right? You could get into a window, right? Because again, I'm going to quote just straight from Wikipedia here about him just to get my details 100% correct. In 1900, the Japanese government sent Soseki to study in Great Britain as Japan's first Japanese English literary scholar. There he visited Cambridge and stayed a night there, but then gave up the idea of studying at the university because he could not afford it on his government scholarship. He studied instead at the University of College London. He had a miserable time in London, spending most of his days indoors, buried in books, and his friends feared that he might be losing his mind. Soseki is quoted to say of his time there, quote, "The 2 years I spent in London were the most unpleasant years in my life. Among English gentlemen, I lived in misery, like a poor dog had strayed among a pack of wolves."
Dude, Soseki real?
Soseki is real.
So we're gonna save him for sure.
He probably didn't do it.
He probably didn't do it.
I love his design in this. He's so cute.
So here's the thing about now that we're on the Soseki, I gotta say I do love him. He is exactly what I think every Ace Attorney like client should be, which is a kind of like a pathetic mess. Like
a poor little meow meow, perhaps even.
Because like the whole thing about Ace Attorney clients to me is that no one believes them, right? Like, and no one believes in them, and that's why it's our job to believe in them. Like the bride from the time traveling case, it was just like, well, that didn't fucking happen. Well,
I did not believe her though.
But I did believe
an example.
She did experience some sort of time travel, just not the time travel she thought it was.
Correct.
So like this guy, he looks really nervous. His eyes are square. He has a mustache, and he looks like he's about to break down at any moment.
Yeah.
Literally, I see myself in him. He's like looking in a mirror. This writer. Well, no, I'm a little cooler actually, and a lot more buff. But
but yeah, so the part of the reason why he kind of has a little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it like cat theming going on with his character design is, because his book I Am a Cat is,
Wait, what's a single cat-like thing about him?
I feel like the way that his mustache is drawn kind of gives a little bit of a Whiskers vibe.
He did have a big mustache, though. Like, if you look at an actual picture of him, that he did have a big mustache.
He also does, like, big sparkly, like, kitten eyes at you if you say
I know.
like, do stuff. He also has a bunch of cat shit in his room.
I love a weak-ass man. I want to hug him.
True, fact. So, like, I love that, like, Strongheart tells us, oh, by the way, the client that you're defending, no one's defending him. If you don't do this, he's going to die. And fucking Naruhodo goes, jeez. It looks like I've got to step up to the plate, but not till the end of the
This guy's
section.
just really low on public defenders. And is getting us to do unpaid labor.
The public defenders keep turning them down. Like, nobody wants to do it.
Yeah, he's taking the cases that no one else wants to take. And also, Baron Von Zieks is prosecuting, which means that even if we get this guy off the hook, he's got max, 6 months. Like, there's... Also, he's already kind of...
No, he doesn't, because he's a real guy and we can save him this time.
I feel like every time we bring up Baron Von Zieks, or anybody brings him up, like when Gregson brings him up, everybody does really treat him like he really is the Reaper, right?
Yeah, like he actually did
Everybody's
fucking
like,
kill
oh
that
my
guy.
God. It feels like if we were like, I don't know, it feels like if we were in like Sesame Street or something and they would say his name and then thunder would play behind it right afterwards.
Yeah.
Or like Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's your favorite fictional vampire?
Me?
Count from he goes. Like I said, who's your favorite fictional vampire? The guy goes, the one from Sesame Street, and the guy goes, he doesn't count, and then the other guy goes, buddy, he sure fucking do.
What, are we reading text posts? What's going on here?
It was just.
My wife's
I was thinking, no,
online.
Shut up. I was thinking of Von Zieks and then Muppets at the same time, and then I remembered that joke.
All right, fair enough.
I now understand.
I thought you were asking me what my fictional vampire was.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, I need a few minutes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had a lot.
No, the one from the Muppet, because he counts.
Right.
I think that's a valid choice. I would not stumble into that person's trap.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for giving me a minute here to do one important thing. Tiago, say something about Van Zieks.
Van Zieks is a vampire. Oh my God.
Oh fuck yeah. Oh, okay. New bit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, new bit. Now you're gonna do
like
it every time you put yourself into this.
Yeah.
Now we have to try and remember, which is the real challenge.
It'll be like, Ben, get ready. I'm about to say it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I actually do want to talk about him real quick, though, for real.
Okay.
Finally, we are like, hey, do you think he's killing everybody? Do you think he's doing it? Do you think he's killing these guys? And everyone's like, no, whoa, we're not saying that.
I love that Sherlock Holmes says verbatim, chances are he's not killing them.
He's probably not doing that.
That'd be crazy. He's a member of the court. There's no way that this dude is killing them. Meanwhile, he's standing over there menacingly, looking over the streets of London.
He's just standing there with a knife. Like, I think maybe he's killing them.
Here's the thing. I think
that doesn't mean anything. You could just let anybody into court with a knife.
I mean, I guess he could actually be cursed, because, like, magic is real. We just haven't seen any yet in this game.
That's a good point. Magic is real. Here's my thing about the aforementioned prosecutor, Baron Von Zieks. Fuck. give me a second. I gotta compose myself. I think there's a solid chance he is killing them. This could be the game where we have a prosecutor who is evil through and through. What if this is like the game where, like, what if we were introduced to Von Karma case 1, you know? So, like...
I kind of wish that had happened. I mean, we didn't even meet this man case 1, we meet this man case 3.
Well, yes, but, like, you know what I mean, right? Like, at the beginning of our lawyer career, we actually meet the guy who we're gonna fucking take down. And it could be Baron von Zieks. But there's a... Fuck! Okay.
He's gonna distract us too.
No,
it's not. You have to keep doing it.
You have to keep it going. Now I can't say his name.
Yeah, sure.
That's my way around it. I think that it would be really interesting if, like, this game actually followed all the way through with the, like, yeah, he is for real killing them. Like, Magnus McGilded, that goose had to go.
Right.
He got roasted inside that carriage. And apparently, Strongheart said, yeah, we weren't supposed to reinvestigate the carriage, so whoever said that was a liar. And Ryunosuke goes, wow, a liar in the court system. Fuck, dude. How are you gonna handle
crazy?
How are we gonna fucking handle that? Real quick note, I love our assistant. She's very helpful. She's very nice to me now, and I appreciate her.
I think we
Susato
all
kicks
agree we
ass.
love
Susato's
Susato.
Susato, she has she has that, like, face where she looks like genuinely like she's about to tear up, and I'm like, Susato, no, it's okay, my bad. We'll get it fixed out. And then there's the other worker, like, she looks at me and she goes, oh god, yeah, that's a human, huh? Like, with such pity.
Her pitying emote, is really good. Yeah.
So yeah, we gotta decide whether or not we're gonna defend Natsume, the real human man. Yeah. And Ryunosuke goes, I don't know, geez, the last guy I defended turned out to be maybe guilty, and now he's also dead. It's pretty heavy on day 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go investigate, and then we'll come back with an answer. And Natsume
see if I
goes,
can, like, find a lot of evidence for you.
Exactly. So Natsume has a bit where he will, like, say a sentence and all of it begins with, like, the same letter. Well, alliteration, that's what that is.
Yes.
What's up with that? Is that anything?
This is an attempt.
He's a little writer. He's a little writing guy.
Yeah, this is an attempt to localize a very, very Japanese bit, right? So, he is doing something called Yoji Jukugo, which is essentially it's a 4-character idiom, right? Like raining cats and dogs or something like that, right? But it is 4 characters, 4 syllables, and when you read those kanji out, they like each kind of will often sound like their own thing or their own word, but then you can also read them all together as one thing, and they create a compound, idiom. Or I guess Wikipedia also calls it a lexeme, which I don't know if that actually helps define it for anybody. But so he's saying 4 syllables, ba 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 ba, and when you read them all together, they kind of make an idiom that he is saying here. So unfortunately, you have to try to find a way to localize that. And here they have decided, well, what if he just he's a writer and he does a bunch of alliterative phrasing to make 4 words like
what if it
line
was
up
just
with each
alliteration?
other. Yeah. So it's them trying to do their best to find a way to turn this into something that makes sense for English speakers as well.
Human localizers are some of the toughest jobs in any piece of media, and they deserve respect. They deserve our care, and we should treat them like they're heroes.
It's true.
It's hard work. Yeah,
they are heroes.
So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on there. That is what he's doing with this bit. In addition, for a history lesson here, a couple other interesting notes about Soseki. In his book, I Am a Cat, the cat uses the personal pronoun wagahai. So
wagahai.
Wagahai. So keep that in mind because that might come up again later. This is obviously a personal pronoun that is never really or hardly ever used anywhere in Japan in real life, right? This is kind of like a funny, cutesy way to refer to yourself in writing that has really only persisted because this book was so popular.
The cat was doing it.
Yes, because it's cutesy and the cat was kind of doing it, right?
So big cat heads in Japan could be using Wagahai if they are really, really obsessed with this one book.
Well, funnily enough, here's two examples that I saw listed that were like the most common examples for characters in fiction that use Wagahai. Bowser in the Mario games uses Wagahai.
That rules.
That's sick, actually.
And in Persona 5, Morgana also uses Wagahai.
Okay, well, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, that actually lets me down.
Yeah,
no, it's fine. It's meets expectations. Bowser is fun.
You know what?
That kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of like kind of the tone, right?
Yeah,
and what his literary history kind of makes up. I mean, here's the thing. Aside from this being like, yes, what if a real person showed up in your game? What if Mark Twain showed up in a Western video game, right?
Have you ever seen a stop motion film with Mark Twain in it? The Adventures of Mark Twain.
Mark Twain would do great in Ace Attorney.
It's true, actually.
He'd love it here.
He would love Ace Attorney. I just started thinking about The Adventures of Mark Twain, which is like a stop motion film, and the devil shows up in it, and he like asks humans like, "What do you think good is?" And it's like some kids, and the kids are just like, "I don't know, man. That's pretty heavy."
That's tough, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, I'm an angel. It's like, really? What's your name? Lucifer. It's like, oh.
I've heard about you, sir.
And it's side tangent. I think I did not know this man was real. And that means the entire time that I was looking at this pathetic man, that was a real man. Was he actually that pathetic?
I mean, I read you that quote about London.
He was a recluse shut-in and very shy and timid.
He was probably just kind of depressed because he was stuck in England and he didn't want to be there.
I wish we could bring him back and show him that.
I mean, here's the thing. He came back to Japan. He was very successful as a writer. He was on the 1,000 yen bill from 1984 to 2004 in Japan.
Wait, real shit?
So we gotta save him.
We gotta save him. If we don't save him, money goes.
This is not the first time he's showed up in fiction stories, and this is not the first time he's showed up in fiction stories in which he crosses over with Sherlock Holmes, too. There have been other previous, older novels that have had him show up, such as, I'm using Janet Shu, one of the lead localizers for Ace Attorney. They wrote a blog about it, and I'm referencing that here because they wrote that Soseki showed up. One that was very famous in English, a Japanese story from 1953 called, you'll pardon my language here, The Yellow Lodger by Yamada Futaro, in which Holmes solves a case thanks to Soseki's help.
Got it.
And shows up in another novel as well called Soseki in the Case of the London Mummy Murder, which does not seem to have been translated ever into English.
Wait,
but, the story is written from Soseki and John Wilson's perspectives, right? So, he's been around. This is not uncommon. And Shu Takumi actually, when he first started making this game, he went to his producer and he was like, okay, so I want to use Sherlock Holmes and I want to use Soseki Natsume in my game. Can I do that? And they were like, well, there's no problem using Sherlock Holmes. You can go ahead and do that. That's no problem. Japanese copyright laws are in your favor there. But you should talk to the estate of Soseki Natsume if you want to use him. So he did. He's contacted them and asked if that was all right. And they said, and I quote, "Feel free to do whatever."
Wow, if only the Arthur Conan Doyle estate had been so kind. Actually, you know what? Look at how they massacred my boy. On the other hand, he's funny, so...
I really sat here and I thought, I had a mental vision of Shu Takumi entering a grandiose mansion paid for by the Natsume money, and at the very end, there's someone sitting at, this extravagant lawn chair or whatever, like a lazy boy, and he really goes, yeah, I don't give a shit, dude. You're can you grab me something for the kitchen on the way out? Fucking... That's very funny to me.
I support it. I think that should be allowed.
I can't believe that there's so much history in this one random client. Cool guy.
Well, yeah,
I like
said,
him
it's
more
kind of one of
now.
those things where if
He was
if
there
we
at about the
knew-
time, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like if we had used if a Western game had used a character, a real person as a character, right? We would have a lot of that established knowledge, right? We'd be able to come into it and go, oh yeah, well I kind of get the vibes.
Oh yeah, everybody
for.
had to read this book in elementary school.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's kind of the same thing that's happening here. It's just we don't have as much of that pre-established knowledge. So that's why I thought it'd be nice to try to give as much of that as possible here so that
I think Mark Twain is a good comparison.
Yeah.
Because like I've definitely like things where like a famous author has been in, like I can't think of anything off the top of my head because my brain immediately turned off, but like I'm sure there's been something. Some little cameos.
I have something in my pocket right now that I would like to show you called Fairly Odd Parents. In which
that wasn't what I was expecting.
In which Mark Twain was like I don't remember if he was a character, but like his specific character, like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, showed up because Timmy Turner didn't want to read the story, so he just wished the characters were alive and would just tell him the story.
Ah, interesting.
This turns around because I do believe Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn, I don't remember which one it was, realizes that he's a book character and goes, I'm not going fucking back to Missouri or whatever. I'm fucking escaping the book. Fuck you,
Oh,
kid.
yeah, I do remember this, actually.
Yeah, so he has to, like, defeat the fictional character.
That sounds fun.
Wow, who knew that having, like, a rich literature history could, like, enhance an experience of something in the modern day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that reminds me of, what were those books called?
The Bible?
No. No.
Okay.
It was some like fiction novel, and it was set in a universe where like classical literature was like the height of like everything. And there was like this magical way to like go into books to view them. And
is it The Magic Tree House?
No.
Okay. That was a sincere question.
That's so
Are you
fair.
talking about the Page
no,
Master?
it was British. It was really British. Thursday Next. That was Thursday Next novels. It was about a lady. She's a detective, and she solves literary crimes about great literature.
Oh.
Okay, I just remember the Magic Treehouse book where they went to Pompeii, and that was like really heavy.
We haven't gone there yet.
True.
Okay.
Anyways, good books.
Well,
if
20-30 minutes into the episode, maybe we should talk about the actual case too.
What?
Yeah. So
what?
So the reason
I did a lot of table setting for the Soseki stuff. I get it.
So is there a reason that the case is
up.
called The Case of the Clouded Kokoro is because of his book, Soseki had a book called Kokoro?
Yes.
Was there a Sherlock Holmes case called Case of the Clouded Heart?
I believe you asked this at the end of last episode, and the answer at the time was no.
So this is a Soseki tribute case, not a Sherlock Holmes tribute case.
It appears that
yes.
is,
However,
that is the case.
we do get some other stuff in here then later, such as the Gyaradeps, which are also names taken from Sherlock Holmes stories.
Oh, that explains why they were so fucking weird to me.
They were also just weird Muppets. London's full of weird, fucked up Muppets.
Yeah,
this is true. I've been there.
Rose has. I haven't, so I can't say anything.
I was 10 years old, so I think I was also a weird, fucked up Muppet.
No, that's how you knew. You could sense that it was Muppet to Muppet communication.
Yeah.
So like the actual murder of this case, in which that like it's a foggy day, a lady's walking down the street, and randomly a knife appears in her back. She falls over, and of course our client is coming back from the bookstore and sees this and goes, "Oh shit, there's a knife in that lady's back. I should run home because I'm a coward." And so he does, and then shortly thereafter the police go like, "You were the only one there, and you fled the scene of the crime, so it's you." And Gregson even goes on to say like, not Gregson, but oh god, yeah, it's the fucking little girl that says it, isn't she? Where she goes
Iris,
like,
yeah.
She goes, "Yeah, Britain's really understaffed right now, so if you get caught, chances are they'll just arrest you on the spot and say that you did it. So, you know, c'est la vie. This is the greatest justice system in the world."
Should we unpack Iris?
I wanted to mentally get myself through like meeting Gregson again, and then
let's get through Gregson. Gregson's also eating a lot of potatoes, which I like and respect.
He's got a little thing of fish and chips that magically refills itself.
I would kill for that. I was watching this and I was like, I would like French fries, please.
You do love French. I actually had
It's my
French fries
favorite
earlier
food,
today.
listeners. Is French fries. Write that down.
Write that
I
down.
haven't had
Don't.
French fries in a while.
Yeah, Gregson, he's a detective. He tells us to fuck off because he's like, I don't literally have time for this. And then we find out that the reason our client was arrested is because of some dipshit asshole named Herlock Sholmes who, at the time, we believed accused our client of doing it. So now we gotta go to Sherlock Holmes's place, which luckily Susato knows because it's in the magazine. Why would you dox yourself? I wouldn't do that.
That's just part of the Sherlock Holmes' story.
It's good advertising.
It's good advertising.
You gotta come to the office to, you know, hire them.
Okay, we go to fucking the place and there's a little girl there. Let's talk about the little girl.
True.
Okay. All right. So
We are
yes, you get there.
beset by
and
a small League of Legends character once again.
Iris Wilson is there, and she's like,
Why
She
is she like
curtsies
that?
she's like, I'll make you tea.
I'm not a fan of the like little girl genius trope. And
Mm-hmm.
I can be, but here's what I have a problem with Iris.
okay.
I need her to be one of two things, one or the other of two things. I don't care what she is. I need her to look way, way, way fucking crazier.
Okay.
Like, she looks like the most normal steampunk anime girl ever conceived of.
She looks like she belongs on a Cardfight Vanguard card.
Yeah, she does not belong in this video game, but she also doesn't. There's nothing about her that's terribly inspired. Or I need her to look more normal. I need her to look more like she lives in this universe. Like,
Mhm.
She's not Muppet enough, but
yeah,
she's
like
not insane
Miss
enough.
Lestrade, the pickpocket girl. She looks like an Ace Attorney character. She's in a little steampunky getup, but she looks like a person.
Mm-hmm.
So I
You're
need
saying-
her to be weirder and crazier, or
You
I
don't
need
think-
her to be way more realistic. This
So-
this middle ground thing is what's not doing it for me.
So here's my thing: is that like, I think in media sometimes they'll like we've been joking about like the assistant character, right? Like we have an older like protagonist, and then we have the assistant little girl or whatever, and like, you know, Maya's younger than us. She's our homeboy though. Like we trust her, and Pearl, she's like our homeboy too, and all the other homeboys we've had in the past.
Yeah.
So, like, the idea that Iris Wilson is Herlock's homeboy does fill me with a particular kind of rage that I can't quite describe.
It's
not- It's not her fault that Herlock Sholmes exists, but it is also incredibly her fault that Herlock Sholmes exists.
So let's unpack. The problem is Herlock Sholmes in this situation, or is the problem the little girl genius trope? Because if you
Well-
consider, what if she was a little boy genius trope? Would that be fine?
I actually think that would be the same problem, which is that Herlock Sholmes exists. It's Herlock Sholmes.
Herlock
I
Sholmes
fucking
is
hate-
the problem.
Okay.
Or Hurley, as she's calling him, which I like.
Oh my god! Don't.
I
fucking
just
give
wanted
her-
to figure out what the problem was so that we could workshop going forward.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna need to like sit down in a therapist chair and be like, why do I hate Herlock Sholmes?
It's Herlock. Herlock's the problem.
So,
But
like,
you know what? I am happy because earlier I refused to accept that Dr. Wilson, whatever, was
Yeah.
dead. And
and
now
apparently they're not.
it's not. It's not. So this plot hole is eliminated here. Where
It's not a plot.
Plot hole covered.
where Herlock didn't know that his air quotes best friend had died tragically in Japan because
Sure.
it's just some guy with a similar name.
So like the Dr. John Watson that we saw in the first case was a fake out. That was just randomly some British guy who was a doctor who did die. And it turns out the
It's a
real
pretty
Dr.
normal
Watson,
name, honestly.
the real Dr. Watson that is the sidekick to Herlock Sholmes is in his fucking apartment, which is a 10-year-old doctor girl. And like, here's I haven't seen enough of a character to deliver whether or not I do not like her, because we have like realistically one conversation with her. It gives me, the issue is that it kind of touches on like a character trope that I saw in a different video game that I do love, AI the Somnium Files, in which that like your main character detective is living with a little girl because her father, who is your best friend, is fucked off. And she's great because she's funny and does make fun of me, and she's an ally. So like,
Good for her.
You know what? Wilson needs to be an ally. If she says straight out, if she goes on a tirade about the LGBT community and goes, "Those are great people, a culture filled with art and love," then by all means.
Well, she hasn't said anything racist to us yet, which makes her one of the few people in London who hasn't said anything actively racist to us yet.
Right. I mean, I guess the question is about Iris's status. She's writing the Ranced magazines under the name John Wilson. And she says that her parents are not around anymore or something like that, right? She's like, when somebody asks
they're dead.
about, she kind of just says they're not here anymore or something like that, right? So the question is, was the John Wilson who died in the first case, was that her dad, right? And is that why that's why she's still with Sherlock, with Sholmes here in this situation? Or yes, or is there some other case of of identity going on here that is still yet to be determined?
So Iris Wilson, she's actually smart. She does deduce a lot of shit correctly. Like, she just starts talking to us as if we've told her already that we are people new in town, that we are doing a case, and that we want to look for Sherlock Holmes. And then she does her own logic and reasoning spectacular. Do they ever shorten that to Lars? You could shorten it to Lars.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know that. And she does it perfectly fine. She doesn't need us to step in. So that makes me think, why the
Sherlock
fuck
is stupid.
Why the fuck do you allow this man to live? He's a menace.
Maybe she's just like using him to like do her shopping. I don't know.
I mean, he
like,
pays rent.
Yeah, being a 10-year-old walking around, like, this is a thing. Let's bring in some more classic literature. In Interview with the Vampire, there is the little girl vampire, and she needs an adult vampire to take care of her, not because she is not smart, not because she is not capable, but quite simply because she is a little girl, and she needs someone to walk around and act as her adult, her parent.
Yeah, otherwise adults will ask weird fucking questions. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So, like here's the thing, though.
You can't walk into, like, a hotel and get a room for the night as a child, little tiny child.
The problem is that means the person she chose to be her, like, liaison to the adult world is Sherlock fucking Holmes.
Makes her seem normal in comparison.
Holy shit, yeah, you're right, that's the perfect camouflage. Now, no one's questioning why she has pink hair or why it's in a bow. Because there's a fucking strange creature climbing the wall, licking the paint.
from the ceiling.
Licking the paint.
Licking the paint.
Oh, and that's not good for you to do.
He's got to know where the paint
England.
came from based on its chemical properties.
Call him a number 2 pencil, because that motherfucker's full of lead.
Yeah, I was going to say there's lead in there. Whee!
Last time you guys were very, I recall, very worried that she was going to be the Watson.
Yeah, she is the Watson. Yeah,
and she is the Watson.
She is indeed the Watson.
When you said that, I had to message Ben on the side. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Maybe she's also Sherlock Holmes, though.
I think...
Because she's smarter than him, she's writing all the goddamn stories.
There's a possibility where her vibes are better than Sherlock Holmes, so, like, you know... That's fine, I guess.
She gave us tea
so
and she
the guys
didn't
is working.
us of
The guys is working on Tiago.
The guys? What guys?
The guys of a 10-year-old being normal in comparison to.
Oh fuck! You're right.
Oh
my
guys
god!
With an eye.
I fell right for it.
As intended.
We talked to her and we're like, we're trying to defend that guy. Yada yada. Sherlock Holmes is fucking responsible for this. I wish I could put text into the video game and type out the words, "I would like to kill Sherlock." She gives us a pass to talk to Gregson. Gregson goes, "Oh, thanks her lordship for giving you permission." And we all just go, "Okay, well now that makes me think that fucking Dr. Iris Wilson is like a noble or some shit like that, right? Like, unless Gregson's just like really respectful towards this doctor little girl.
She does
pays
seem
him.
to have a lot of money.
She does have money.
She pays him to use his name.
Yeah, because he's in the stories and he goes like, "How come I always look like a dipshit in front of the people?" And Iris goes, "Here's $5." And
It's like, all right, I guess.
All right, I guess I understand now. And then Gregson just gives us information, a map, tells us where to go, and we're all just like, "Damn, who knew that 10-year-old little girl had so much sway in the streets of London?"
Yeah.
And then we go to the apartment building, and I kind of like, I'm like, is this even fucking relevant to the case?
It definitely will be. We just don't know how yet.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
so we go into Soseki's apartment, and it's piled high with books.
It's a single room with books.
It's got a little desk, a little like sitting mat for him. He's got his lucky cat on the shelf, and an actual cat sleeping there as well. And after you pan around and poke around the room for a little bit, Sherlock appears.
Yeah,
Sherlock Holmes, you big fucking nerd. Where are my goddamn clues?
And he explains all the stuff that you need to know about, like the window tax and just kind of like about how he came to the conclusion. And he does get a little he does split some hairs with you because you're like, you're the one who named my client as the murderer. And he's like, "Now, good sir, please understand me. I did no such thing. The police wanted to know who was there that evening, and I named the only person who was there, and that was Soseki Natsume." And they assumed then that he was the murderer.
Oh my god, the opportunity I get to kill Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to fucking dip him in acid.
When he's on the stand, Tiago's just gonna put the DS down.
It's a Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna pick up my DS and put it down.
I mean, he's definitely gonna get... If he gets accused of murder and we have to defend him, this is
tough,
the end
man.
of Tiago's play, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's you could see me make the early decision where I have to, like, they make an ace attorney where it's like, "Would you like to give up?" And I say yes. Yes! Baron von Zeeks, kill this man!
So Sholmes also says the landlord's hiding something.
The landlord,
and you're like,
I could tell.
"Is that important?" You're like, "Is that important?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know if it's related to the case, but he's definitely hiding something." And
it might be.
like, "Okay, well, like, I guess we'll that's our only lead." So,
so very important, because this is England. The first floor and the ground floor are not the same thing.
Correct.
There's 3 floors to this building, but they call it ground floor, first floor, second floor.
Yes.
This is relevant.
A huge problem for me at work all the time.
Because I got fucking confused. Because I was like, you say you have 2 tenants and they each have a floor, but then you say you're on the second floor. Where's the third floor? And then it's like, oh, the third floor is the second floor. You're working off of 0 as ground. So, like, I had to realize that, personally.
Yeah.
I will safely say that I don't have
about.
respect for Mr. Gottlieb or whatever this dude's name is.
Garadeb. John Garadeb, who takes his name from Sherlock Holmes' story, The Adventure of the Three Garadebs.
Where's the other 2?
Well, there's at least one other one.
That's part of the story. You haven't read it, find out.
The story does not have a ton to do with this. I think it's mostly just taking the name. It's not one I've read, so I guess I shouldn't say that with 100%, but I skimmed the summary and I was like, I don't think this has too much in common with this case aside from the name here. But John Garadeb is the landlord, and he's a soldier.
Muppet shaped.
Yeah. Well, yes. And he has his maid with him, Joan. And the bit with the 2 of them at first visually is his head is kind of crescent shaped and her head is kind of sun rounded shaped, like with the frills of her maid headband kind of almost like sun rays. So it's like sun and moon kind of vibes between the two of them.
I did not get that.
Wait, really?
Yeah, really.
Huh?
Did you?
Well,
wait,
now
did you?
Yeah. That was the first I looked at them and I went, "Oh, haha, look at that."
Okay, well, fine, whatever.
We can't all be
No,
Sherlock
Tiago,
Holmes.
grow up.
Whoa!
Whoa.
All right, here's my thing. This guy's not a BBW warrior. Fuck him.
Because he hates his wife.
He hates
He
his
doesn't
large.
hate his wife. That's the thing.
He hates his large wife. Well, he doesn't hate his large wife.
They seemed happy in
loves
the
her
wedding
still.
photos.
They were happy
They
in the
may
wedding
be
photos.
unhappy in their marriage for perfectly normal reasons that people become unhappy in their marriages.
He says the line, "She gained a lot of recently."
She
Doesn't
looked
he?
exactly the same.
She does look exactly the same in the photo, but that's what he said. And I'm like, so what's the fucking issue, man? What's good? What do you want to say?
Apparently, she's also kicking his ass, so...
Oh, yeah, no, she is absolutely fucking beating him to death every day, so that is another issue.
Yeah, that's its own separate problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
so
I'm
not only
honest.
is she's scalding the entire lower half of his body with hot tea about every, I'd say 20 to 25 seconds.
I'm surprised he still has
She's-
feeling in there.
She's also slapping him around and throwing things at him.
So,
This
like,
is
we later
bad and
discover.
wrong. So, can you blame him for being a little unhappy?
I kind of just wish that his reasoning, I'm totally fine if he's unhappy if he says my wife beats me. He said the weight thing, and I was like, that's not the issue, man. The issue is
Well,
that you're
yeah.
in the octagon every day.
To be completely fair to Mrs. Joan Garadeb, she is unfortunately a victim of several,
Yeah, on the
unfortunate
other
tropes.
hand, should she kick his ass? Maybe.
Should this
Some
lady
not great
kill
writing.
Sherlock Holmes? Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, we do the logic and reasoning spectacular. Like, okay, sorry. The setup is she's his maid at first, you think, but then it's of course revealed that she is his wife, and she's posing as the maid so that they appear upper class, right?
Which
Yes.
is bad and wrong also.
Yes. Weird power dynamic.
Yeah,
Unless you're
not
really
into...
unless
not
it's kind of a kink thing, and then I could
It
see it
doesn't-
being kind
If
of
it
cool.
was,
I
I
don't
think
think it
they'd be
is.
happier.
If it
Yeah.
was, I think they'd be happier. If like
Yeah.
she
I
goes,
think that's the problem.
But Sholmes does his whole thing, and he says that there's an Asiatic lion on the rampage in this house, destroying things, and we do the whole bit where who's the beast that could have destroyed all these things? Oh, it's actually the wife,
Angry wife.
angry wife, trope, and it's just like okay,
some
and,
real
yeah,
Flintstone shit happening in here.
I feel like
yeah,
it
so
would
it's
have made
just
more sense
Unfortunate.
if she was just, like, pissed because he's making her pretend to be the maid.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Like,
that
Instead
that
of her being irrationally angry over a bookmark found in one of his books that is like
Probably
a little
not
kissy
his.
note, romantic note that's not even written out to him. It's written out to an entirely different name. It's James or something instead of John. And
Yeah.
she gets irrationally upset, starts throwing things at him. This is what's revealed, of course.
I
It
love
happened the night
that,
of the
like,
murder.
during the logic and reasoning spectacular, Sherlock Holmes is, like, just straight up calling her an animal to her face. And meanwhile,
know.
Naruhodo is like, oh, I don't know, I guess...
Women are people, Mr. Holmes.
No, he does at first say, well, yeah, she's a very powerful beast. And immediately Susato's like, shut the hell up.
Yeah,
and he
Susato
goes-
defends her.
Susato
Hell yeah,
defends...
Susato.
Susato the god.
What a
Sus-
queen.
Susato the god defends...
I like her. I like her a lot. I like her more and more every case. Not even anything
good.
in particular she's doing. She's just like, she's good and she's
She's cute.
endearing to me, and I like
She's
her.
excited to be here. She, like, honestly wanted to take a trip to London and, like, experience a new world to her, you know? So, like,
There is a really cute scene when you meet Gregson and like you try and talk to him and he's all being like, he's doing the grumpy Englishman trope, and she just rolls up and is like, "Why, hello, sir. My name is so and so. Is it,
what a lovely day.
yeah,
And
isn't
then-
it a wonderful, how's the weather today?" And he's like, Yeah, it's unseasonably nice weather we're having, miss. Like, he totally is just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right.
I'll be nice.
Also, her little bit where she's like, "Oh, I really want to wear a Bobby's hat."
So
Just
true.
go get one for you, probably.
She has the Fae vibe of, like, kind of this curiosity about the world, but not in the same way the Faes had it, where they thought to themselves, I wonder what a person tastes like, but rather, you know, can I wear a Bobby hat? I think my...
Wait, were the
The
Faes eating
Fae's
people?
curiosity.
Maya
curiosity
would
for
be
the
like, I
world.
wonder what that person tastes like.
Maybe.
No,
But
the
not
Fae's
Pearl.
curiosity for the world was a little bit of a death
The
wish,
moment
though,
Maya gets
right?
hungry, she starts to crave flesh.
Dude, I'm lucky we
Whereas-
weren't trapped in a room with her for 8 hours. She would kill and eat us. Anyway, yes, through the Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, we find out that 1, that's his fucking wife. 2, his wife is pissed because she misunderstood something. 3, they're actually not that well off because they're pretending to have a maid, and that's why there's really cheap rent. And also, the room is cursed somehow. What's up with that?
That'll be important later.
This is the part where I get kind of confused. Because it'll obviously be explained once we do the next part.
Surely.
Shirley. Don't call me Shirley.
Hurley.
Don't call me Hurley either. Fuck.
Yeah, all right, there we go.
So
Got there
Gregson's-
eventually.
We
So
got there.
Gregson says, yeah, there was actually 2 witnesses to the event, and we're like, our client said there wasn't anybody around, and Gregson says, well, there's 2 witnesses, and I thought potentially that the 2 witnesses were these 2. I can't remember his fucking last name and his wife.
Garrett,
Garrett.
John and Joan Garrett.
But,
Fair
like, then once we're leaving this place, we run into another 2 people who do live
We
here.
meet some clowns.
One of them is dressed like a prince, and the other is just a guy who looks kind of like Popeye.
He's
Uh-huh.
specifically a prince who speaks exclusively in Shakespeare quotes.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, specifically like one Shakespeare quote, right?
He has a couple of them that he says, but mostly he just keep repeating the same one over and over again.
He's like talking like Shakespearean English.
Yeah. So I don't know which of these 2 pairs is going to be the witnesses for tomorrow, but I think that if it's these 2, I, as the defense attorney, would... Never mind, I just realized I was going to say I'm going to blackmail them with information to make sure that they speak well about my client, but maybe that's not a nice thing to do.
Well, let me throw
Sounds
a
like
wrench.
something a prosecutor would do.
Let
Yeah.
me throw a wrench into the matter.
Okay.
Gregson tells you who those 2 witnesses are. He doesn't say their names, but he describes their occupation.
What's their occupation?
He says that a police officer and his wife witnessed the crime.
But the guy at the... he's not a police officer, though. He's a military officer.
Yeah, we haven't met
Exactly.
them yet.
So the Joan and John Gerdeb do not fit the description, and neither do these 2 wackos out front either.
This
Fuck, holy
fucking
shit.
clown show out here.
By the way, once we
One of them
do
is just British, you know?
once
other
we
one is
out the wife for being a
clown.
wife, we get that information, and then we go, cool, that isn't relevant to the case at all. And Harlock goes, yep, you're right.
And he laughs in our faces about it.
That motherfucker. We have to go through the whole...
He's such a bitch.
The formula... I don't like the formula of the Logic and Reasoning Spectacular being that we have to see his whole reasoning before we step in and tell him that he's wrong. I'd rather, like, step in immediately and be like, Herlock, shut the hell up. But I also understand that that's the exact same thing we do with testimony, in which that we hear the whole testimony all the way out, and then we, pick apart.
Mm-hmm,
But the thing about Herlock shows
it's like
is that...
it's like putting the case outside of the courtroom.
The issue that I have is that, I want to kill him. I want to kill
Yeah,
this.
your Sholmes anger is overriding any other feelings, and you just want to get in there as fast as possible and turn him upside down.
Because I like it when Naruhodo am on the screen, because I'm correct. I'm that's like seeing my guy go, here's why you're
Naruto's
wrong.
goofy little looking straight at the camera smirk just like kills me because it's so goofy looking.
Who's?
Naruhodo.
Oh yeah, he's a funny looking guy. I love him.
Like when he like snaps his fingers and like looks at the camera dead ahead and he's got that little smirk and it just looks really goofy.
I like
because
it.
he knows he's having fun. He actually gets to be right for a bit, and he's like, "Yeah,
Yippee!
We leave this place after we deal with the two residents downstairs, and then the landlord and his maid wife upstairs, and we have to go back to Natsume to like talk to him about like whether or not we're gonna take his fucking case. And Herlock is with us because he goes, I should, check this guy out. I wonder if he actually did it. I love that our client also goes, it's you fucking prick. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna fucking get you.
yeah."
I actually love his expression, the one where he like grits his teeth and you can see his gums. You can tell he's really stressed.
I know, he's so cute. I love him.
He's pretty cute. And it is at this point that, unfortunately, Herlock Sholmes is the person who gives our character the motivation he needs to get through this.
He gives us, like, the weirdest, most nonsensical pep talk ever.
Okay, I'm glad you also thought that, because when he said it, I straight up went, what? Huh? But Naruhodo goes, I see, of course. That's what I need to do.
Naruhodo says Naruhodo.
I pulled up the dialogue here because I needed to have it in front of me to be able to talk about it. So, to Ryunosuke, he says, I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I recall regarding into the situation in case 2, when, with the SS Buria, I recall neither believing in you nor in that which you were telling me. What? Ryunosuke says. And Sholmes replies, you see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
Oh my god.
I mean...
I
yeah,
just decided I liked
guess.
you and I believed you, and I happened to be right.
Yep. I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned. And Ryunosuke replies, but I could have betrayed your trust. And Sholmes says, ha ha ha, in that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. And then this line, I actually really do like. This is the one Sholmes line I really do like. He follows it up with, betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Honestly, I do like that part too.
That line actually hit for me. I was like, okay, all right, Sholmes, you should do what's right, and you should believe in people regardless of whether they're going to betray you or not. And, betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, as he said.
Yeah,
I did find
nice
that kind of
too.
nice. But getting to that point was a little shaky.
you gotta slog through his nonsense first. I like it because they have, as something they talk about in this a lot, or Susato talks about it a lot, like the idea of the English gentleman. Like a man of his word, some guy who's very honorable and upstanding, and I'm like, well, that guy doesn't really exist, does he?
Can't get anybody like that nowadays, huh?
I supposed to... what?
I don't have a response for that.
Yeah, I don't have a response. I don't consider myself an English gentleman for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, there's several reasons why none of us here are English gentlemen, actually.
Yeah, no. Here's what I think.
I do have a lot of friends that are English, surprisingly.
Can't
say if they're gentlemen or not.
I will have my day where I flay Herlock Sholmes. But he has earned himself another 30 seconds of life with that sentence. That's how I feel.
You'll get at least one moment in these games, Tiago, in which you'll get to be happy about stuff that happens to Sherlock Holmes. Don't worry.
Is he gonna get his leg broken?
Tiago's breaking his kneecaps. Do it.
Does an ill fate befall him?
Does an ill fate befall him? Here's the best way I could imagine a Danganronpa-esque execution for Herlock Sholmes is that the entire city of London turns on him. And he gets beat to death by a crowd. That would bring me a certain kind of joy. Anyway.
Well, I cannot confirm nor deny, but
yeah, no, we should really say something
read
else.
Between the lines on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dessy makes cute watery eyes, and I say, I will defend you.
And we do it.
Yep.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna defend him against the vampire prosecutor, Baron von Zieks. I was ready for that one, so I didn't
don't
get
even
That
think
one,
he's
that time
that
you were leading
scary.
into it. You were ready for it.
I was ready for it. That
We're all
time.
gonna pause after we say it to give you a second, and the one time you're not fully paying attention, we're gonna call you out. So
Yeah, I know.
be ready.
I think
Okay.
You
I
have to move
think
your
he's
stream
like
deck
everyone
up.
hypes him up as like so fucking scary, but it's like I don't know, man. Like
Holy shit! You should wait. Is that on your stream deck that you're able to do that?
Yes.
Okay, you should change the button to. You should change the button to Baron von Zeeks.
Change it to a
Just
little
have a
face.
Baron
of
von
him.
Yeah, his little
Fun.
face, so that
Yeah.
you never
Yeah.
forget.
Yep.
I think that if he does actually turn out to be a killer prosecutor, that would be the most interesting thing to me, because we haven't had an evil prosecutor at the beginning. You know what I mean? We always have the like, all right, let's GG shake, we're all friends now. With every
Well-
prosecutor. What's up?
remember when Godot like
I
Yeah,
shook
an
his
innocent
hand.
lady?
I shook his hand. You didn't have to shake his hand. I shook his hand.
I did not shake his hand. He's a murderer.
I
He
think
He's
he's
sexist.
he killed an innocent woman, and he openly stated he was willing to kill an innocent child. My girl Pearly, my homeboy, perhaps even.
This is making the defense really tough for me, Rose.
Yeah, he's a bad guy, and he deserves to go to prison. Well,
but I
no one
think
deserves to go to prison, but like in the context of the universe,
I think
he did
he
murder.
still deserves an invite to the prosecutor barbecue that we have once a year, where we meet up with all of our favorite prosecutors and have dinner.
mm,
No,
okay. Yeah, if all of them can come, then it's only fair that even the ones in prison can come.
the only one who can't come is Sadmade.
He's not invited.
No,
He's not invited. That's specifically the one that I will not tolerate.
No.
The murders were fake, but the annoyance was real.
Exactly. So yeah, now
Blackwell can come, but only if he's not as cringe. But Taka can come regardless.
Taka can come regardless. Yeah, the Hawk is invited. The Hawk was part of the prosecution team.
Pets are allowed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just remembered Bobby Fulbright again. God, what a cool guy.
Yeah.
I miss him so much.
I miss him so much. That was honestly the sickest part of the 3DS games, where it was Bobby Fulbright.
hmm
I miss him.
I blew my nose.
Rip.
So like,
I miss the Bobby we knew.
I miss True. Oh,
I miss
that-
all of Bobby.
So like, I guess next case we're gonna defend. I truly don't know what the fuck happened. My only guess, and this is an insane guess, is that like the killer was wearing camouflage in the fog, right? Like they're just wearing.
All right.
'Cause it's the-
I
okay.
think the lady faked it as an insurance scam.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
I was like-
I'm swinging
She
wildly
faked getting
with no
stabbed.
evidence.
There was like a knife in her, and she
Yeah.
faked it.
But she lived.
Okay.
You think she? Oh,
She
that's
lived,
very
though.
important. She is currently alive, and therefore
Yes.
it's not
Yeah,
murder.
she
yeah,
has
This is
she's like in
not
a
a murder
coma.
trial.
This is not a murder trial.
No, I think that they were disguised like in Call of Duty. They had the winter camo on.
Yeah, they
Ghillie
just came
suit.
out of the fog and
Yeah,
snapped the
exactly.
neck.
Just running around with a fog machine attached to your back.
I literally can't imagine another scenario in which that this lady got stabbed in the back. As like, unless someone threw the knife, but then like there was still no one around, but also there was a witness, so like we're all confused.
Right.
That's my only prediction for the case, because honestly, we have like literally nothing to go on. We only got
We
like
don't
two
even-
pieces of
You're only
evidence.
Yeah,
This
we
is
have
only
almost
halfway
nothing in
through,
the
yeah.
wagon even.
Yeah.
It's funny because this is a very middle of the game feeling case, but this is case 4.
Yes. This is the case before the final one. What?
Of
Yeah.
the game.
Of the game, yeah.
Of game 1.
I
Of
feel
game
like
one. This is a chronicle, so there's 2 games.
oh, okay, so there's still time for me to figure out what the fuck is going on with
There,
everybody.
yes, there is more game after this game is.
I feel
Yeah,
like that
this
is-
implies
done.
that this game leaves on a cliffhanger, and if so, that's ballsy. That's ballsy for an Ace Attorney game to end on a cliffhanger.
That's fun. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I don't know, like, we have so much hype about Baron von Zeeks, and, like, there's no, yeah. Like, how do we have enough time to get to know this man? We have, like, 2 court segments, and then 1 more case. Like, he hasn't been out investigating us. We're not like running into him in the wild like we would with like Francisca or
Right.
Miles, say. You know,
Yeah.
like there's got to be more. Either there's more to this man, or I'm gonna be disappointed. I guess are my two options.
What do you think is more likely?
I think there's more to him because they hyped him up like so fucking much. Everyone has so many cryptic things to say about him.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah,
with Miles, everyone was like, he's the new hotshot prosecutor and he's never lost.
I mean,
And
after looking
that was
at
enough. You know, we handled that.
after looking at his car once, I now understand why he developed that reputation.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. It is a very cool car.
Cool is not what it's ostentatious. It is fucking so much.
That's
I don't know a
definitely
lot about
the
cars.
thing for Edgeworth. More ostentatious than cool.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying cravats aren't cool?
I'll
Cravats and 80s shoulder pads are not cool?
I'll say that with my whole fucking chest. I'll say it.
No,
That's
no.
right. Rose, I've also have I seen you wear a cravat?
Out of everyone, you're the most likely person to have seen me wear a cravat, but no, I don't think you actually have.
Rose, I'm not joking. I think I may have seen you wear a cravat once in your life.
Okay. Maybe you have.
The memory of it is in my mind, which makes me go, it must have happened.
I'm trying to think.
Your brain constructed this memory just because there's so much other
No, it's
corroborating
actually
evidence
super
throughout.
possible.
It's so possible.
It's super possible. I'm trying to think of places that I have worn a cravat that Tiago might have been at.
There was a Halloween party once or twice.
Halloween parties, yeah, okay, a couple of Halloween parties.
There
Watch
was
City Steampunk Festival, which I don't think you were ever
I've
at.
never
Black.
been. You could not catch me at a steampunk festival.
Okay, so, well, you could catch me in a cravat at a steampunk festival. Just
Why
not the
not?
last couple of years on account of the horrors.
The horrors, yeah.
The horrors.
It's
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you have.
that's the thing though, is that like we'll never know. Right?
My Halloween parties were and are absolute bangers, and yeah, you might not remember. So
Yeah, I don't know. It could
I might not remember.
it could have happened. We'll never know.
One of those parties.
I guess we're excited to get our real human man Natsume off the hook tomorrow.
We've got to. He's got to
More
be okay.
Natsume. Yippee!
Yeah. I wonder who did it.
I love a wimpy boy.
Do you guys think you know who did it?
I
can't
put
answer
forth
this.
I
my
can't
outrageous
answer that because
theory.
Rose,
I
who do you
actually
think
know
did
the
it?
answer.
I already put forth my outrageous theory.
That she fucking did it herself?
She did herself for insurance purposes.
Who's insurance?
Alternatively, it's a witness we haven't met yet.
Yeah, it's probably a witness we haven't met yet. I think it was a guy camouflaged. I think
What
it was
about our two? Well, we have four wacky possible witnesses.
Yeah,
who could show up.
Shakespearean weird guy, Chin Man.
that's
Chin.
Popeye.
And then Joan and John as well. You think that all four of these people are not related in any way?
I think Joan and John are gonna be like, we saw it from the window, and we're gonna point out the fact that your windows are clouded as shit, ma'am. So clearly that wasn't the fucking case.
There's gonna be something about the fire that they caused that's gonna, like, be relevant later.
Do you think a knife flew out of their window when she was throwing shit, and that's what stabbed her?
The window would probably still be broken.
What if they had it? Oh no, it wouldn't be open because at 5 p.m. it would have been night, and no self-respecting Londoner opens their window at night.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's winter.
Also, it's winter. Yeah. I think it could be Jack the Ripper. We haven't met Jack the Ripper yet, and for some reason, I don't know.
And Rose did bring up Jack the Ripper last time.
I think it could be Jack the Ripper.
You know what? I wouldn't be shocked if we did end up with a Jack the Ripper case.
Dude, what if Natsume was Jack the Ripper? That'd be wild.
Oh my god.
No!
That'd be really cool, though.
Maybe Baron von Zeeks is hanging around. He's come back, to prosecute cases because he's trying to catch Jack the Ripper.
What if Magnus McGilded is Jack the Ripper and he faked his own death?
I would accept Magnus faked his own death, actually.
Yeah, because like his body was charred to shit. There's no the only thing that would be able to identify him would be his height, and like there's got to be at least one other short man in London.
Why would he have done that though?
What if it was Beppo? No, Beppo!
Beppo,
no!
Because there's plenty of Muppets in London, like, but
not Beppo.
It can't be Beppo.
God, I'm so concerned about Beppo's safety now.
Beppo got in trouble for fraud.
All right, do we? Oh, he did. Do we think
He
we're
was
gonna
a
have the
little
same?
old man on the last shift. I can't be that
He can
mad
get
at
away
him.
with a little fraud.
Do we think we're gonna get the same
He
jury
could have a
or
little fraud
new
as a
jury?
treat.
I'm so undecided if it's gonna be exactly the same fucking jury or a totally new jury.
Hear me out. I think it would make sense that it is a new jury, but because of the nature of the case, the other jury members will become a little bit more relevant, such as the Guildmaster had a connection to Beppo. But now we have a like maid couple, and there was a maid in the jury previously, and a knife-wielding guy too, so like
That would
maybe...
mean she's unbiased.
Yes, that is true, but like what I'm saying is that like...
Well, I guess if they're not relevant to the case, because they basically said that it wasn't relevant that they were even there in the first place.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying is that like it'd be interesting if different members of the jury had different connections with the case, like after every other case. You know what I mean? Like the Guildmaster and Beppo, the maid and the maid in this one.
Yeah, because they haven't invented like getting rid of jury members because they have relation to the case yet.
Yeah.
So like I think that would be an interesting angle for like an interesting reason for it to be the same jury. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get picked for jury duty the last two times I got called to jury duty, because every time they ask if somebody has somebody working in law enforcement, while I don't have a cop family member, I do have a family member that works for a company that does the security for prisons.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah, it can't be you. You can't do it.
Nope. I can't. I'm not allowed to be in the jury because of that.
I remember...
They
Yeah.
usually just don't pick me because it's the city of Boston and they got a lot of big old jury pool, and most cases don't actually go to trial. So
they picked me because I said specifically, I don't want to be a jury member because I believe that the institution is racist. And then the lawyer said, well, the defendant's white, what do you think? And I went, fuck, shit, I don't know. And then,
oh, he's an idiot, we're not picking him.
No, they actually went, oh, he's an idiot, we're picking him. And then I ended up going to jury duty. Oh, God, that's so funny. Yeah, I did jury duty once. It wasn't fun. I remember I had Legend and, I had Link Between Worlds on my 3DS in my pocket in case I had to do jury duty.
The second time I got called to jury duty, I got lost on the way home.
That's so fair.
this is
I don't
what's
want
happening to all these Muppets. They are getting called in.
I
They're
mean, have
getting
you
lost
listened to
on the
any of
way
them talking about
home.
it?
Yeah.
They're
I
like,
think I think the
I
knife wielding
can't
one
serve.
is Jack the Ripper.
That would be a
No?
good tie-in, right? Because if we're doing already Sherlock Holmes, we're bringing in some like real people, like literary references. Like, why not?
Yeah. Just have a real...
Jack the Ripper isn't copywritten. They can do whatever they want.
It's not
True.
copywritten.
It'd
No.
be really funny if, like, a dude right now in the year 2024 goes, I lay claim to the Jack the Ripper name. He was an ancestor of mine.
It's
The
it's
Jack
really
the Ripper estate.
Yeah.
It's funny because we already had this discussion once last time. Jack the Ripper came up about whether Jack the Ripper was
He's free
copywritten.
real estate.
Yeah.
No, but we did not
we're doing
discuss...
awesome. We're
But we did not
granted.
discuss the angle in which that is possible that someone
Yeah.
goes, my great-great-great-grandfather was Jack the Ripper.
I mean,
and pulls
people
out
probably-
memorabilia.
People probably do that all the fucking time. It's just that they cannot prove it.
Oh God, I would
And they
really.
never will.
I mean, I don't know. We kept the Zodiac Killer based off a Facebook post. I think we could find Jack the Ripper.
There wasn't
There was
Facebook
no
back then, is the
Facebook.
thing.
There was no 23
No
and
Reddit.
Me.
23. Jack the Ripper's blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god, we've devolved.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, is there anything else anybody wants to add in before we wrap up here? Because I think we've about hit all our marks.
I love my soft boy.
If you're a real
I love
life,
Natsume. He's so cute.
if you're a fan of Herlock Sholmes in this game,
I am.
I real life thought to myself, I shouldn't say what I'm about to say, so I'm gonna not.
It's just the anger just bubbled up in you.
Because I was really afraid.
I just
like, what if
fact-checked myself real quick. Jack the Ripper only killed like 5 people that they're pretty sure of.
I just thought to
that's
myself,
peanuts compared to today's numbers.
true, God,
Gotta get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
those are rookie numbers. I just thought to myself, what if a personal friend of mine was a Herlock Sholmes fan, and lo and behold, a personal friend of mine is a Herlock Sholmes fan.
I like him. He's a funny guy.
Okay, haha.
Wow.
Whatever thoughts Tiago had are now going to be suppressed within him.
They're gone.
There are wrinkles in my mind, and I'm just shoving shit in there.
Mhm.
Anger, hatred.
Well, anyway, there's so many things I could say, but I need
Now,
to keep it to
now
myself.
Tiago
Tiago knows
Tiago.
No, you
Natsume
guys
is
keep-
experiencing a fraction
Fear
of what we
leads
were
to
feeling
anger,
with
and anger
Natsume.
leads to hate.
Or not Natsume, with Sadmati.
I feel my head kind of splitting. I'm fine.
Get well soon.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I think that will do it for us this week, folks. If you like our show, you can keep up with us via our website, updatedautopsy.report, which has links to everything that we do, all of our social media accounts, the podcasts, and the Let's Plays that Dessy and I do as we play through the game at youtube.com/@Yotseben. Our good friend Iro is often there on the rotating guest chair, and he's great on commentary with us through the Let's Plays as well. If you really like us, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. They really do help share the, word about the show and get us out there. If you've left a review, we might read it on the air, like I'm going to do right now.
A review?
5-star review on Apple Podcasts under the name Eyes Emoji, Looking for Greatness Eyes Emoji. My favorite podcast. When I started working the graveyard shifts, I was desperate for some way to stay awake, even after drinking copious amounts of caffeine. Music just couldn't keep me occupied for any shifts. I never considered listening to podcasts because so many that have been recommended to me couldn't hold my attention. This podcast, honest to God, is so entertaining and engaging for my sleep-deprived mind. It makes me happy to hear new things that I didn't know before about the games, or even stuff I knew, but hearing the reactions from Rose and Tiago reignites my love for these games. I always imagine the 4 of them as like detectives in the precinct just talking about recent shenanigans from the courtroom, and the mental image always fills me with so much joy. I'm so excited for you guys to play through the entirety of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which have some of my favorite characters. Excuse me if this review is a little jumbled. I'm at work as I write this, but this podcast is a must for Ace Attorney fans. I'll be sad once they get through the end of the Great Ace Attorney. I hope that will not be the end of Updated Autopsy Report. Thank you, Ben, Dessy, Tiago, and Rose for keeping me awake and laughing through the night. Smiley face. Thank you so much. That's such a sweet review.
Writing a review on the clock. That's so good.
Yeah. Honestly, hell yeah. Write everything you need
boss
to
makes
write.
$1, I make a dime. Write iTunes reviews on company time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's
Stick it
nice.
to the man.
I'm glad we are providing assistance for someone out there.
Hell yeah.
Somewhere. We're
So,
making a difference.
yes. Thank you so much. That really does mean a lot, and it really helps us out. So if you want to get heard on the air too, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review, and we will do our best to read that on the air. You can follow me on all social media at Yotseben. Any website you look at, I'm probably on there. Dessy, where can people find you?
I'm in Garlemald right now.
Okay. And Tiago?
I have no idea what the fuck Des just said. I'm on the website formerly known as Twitter, Linktree in bio.
And Rose?
You can find me at Rose Nonsense on various social media websites, including Tumblr and co-host, and you can also find me walking into a fucking lamppost trying to catch the shuttle bus on the Green Line.
You don't have to tell the people that happened.
No, I do. That's
Okay.
where I'll be. Again, probably tomorrow. Things are going great.
Sorry, Rose.
Damn.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for listening. Like I said, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. And next time, we will be playing the remaining half of the adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.